Welcome once again to the African AV podcast. This is a continuation of our reaction videos. My name is Gadashagbo, and I'm here with.
My name is Oluko Kuntolu Lokwe.
All right, so we just wanted to react to this article on GhanaWeb.com. So I think that we'll add the link to the article below in the video description, so you can always go and read for yourself. Price fluctuations in global crude and refined product prices are taking a heavy toll on Ghana's downstream markets, resulting in bulk oil distributors losing millions of dollars and throwing many indigenous oil marketing companies out of business. Out of the 130 oil marketing companies operating in the country, 50, according to estimates, are said to be financially challenged, thus hampering their ability to lift and sell petroleum products from bulk distributors on a regular basis. For the month of April, 45 oil marketing companies were not able to lift petroleum products, while in June, the Association of Oil Marketing Companies estimated that 22 companies did not lift products. An industry source told the BNFT, that is the Business and Financial Times, that a bulk oil distributor, name we've heard, lost $5 million after selling a consignment due to oil price fluctuations on the world market. The development, according to industry players, is cause to worry. It needs urgent government attention before indigenous oil marketing companies are wiped out of the sector due to financial challenges. Happenings on the world market also predict higher petroleum prices for the future, which has a tendency of having a casting effect on the prices of all goods and services due to a possible hike in transportation, a critical factor in the determination of inflation. After the effects of COVID-19 pushing oil prices down and resulting in cheaper petroleum products here in Ghana, Africa, and some parts of the world, the unstable decisions by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and the trade war among world superpowers is greatly affecting prices of the commodity, making it difficult to predict and fashion a business model to make reasonable margins here in Ghana. In April, 45 oil marketing companies could not lift products because it had become too expensive. This means that the stations of these oil marketing companies will be dry. They have to wait and gather some money before they come back into business. And almost all these companies are indigenous. They have no external cash flow to depend on. It has not been easy. Companies now need to be very tactical. The BDCs, bulk distribution companies, are also careful they do not lose out due to the sharp price increase on the world market. So the sector is really under distress. Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, Kwaku Agyemang Duah, told the BNFT in an interview. He added that many jobs will be on the line if care is not taken, and is recommending a national dialogue to find some ways of cushioning indigenous place in the sector. During this same time, if you look at the upstream, the price is going up, and the country will be making some more money from it. So we think a national conversation should go on. How bet some sort of subsidy? Maybe we will use that from the upstream sector, with all the issues of government subsidy in mind, which resulted in some debt in the past that nearly crippled the downstream oil sector. Mr. Agyemang Duah said, government must tread cautiously in any decision it will want to take. He also noted that the country can prepare incentives and start serious advocacy for the use of electric cars with the aim of reducing the pressure on petroleum products. Full stop. So this is the article in the nutshell. So the background to the article I just read is that currently we don't have subsidies on petroleum products. I know that Nigeria, for example, you do have some subsidies, but in Ghana, there are no subsidies. And, you know, when COVID-19 came, it affected oil prices, as we all know. And that has adversely impacted a lot of the oil marketing companies, especially those that are not financially strong. Okay. And those ones are predominantly indigenous or Ghanaian oil marketing companies. So this gentleman, who is the president of the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, is now saying that the government should look at subsidizing the downstream sector, the oil retailers, and the BDCs, with excess money being made from the export of our crude, number one. And number two, he's also saying, surprisingly and very interestingly, that government should step up its advocacy for the adoption of electric vehicles. This is the president of the Oil Marketing Association. Olukoku, what do you think? What's your reaction?
First of all, am I guessing right if I say Ghana doesn't have a refinery, right?
We have a refinery, but the refinery is relatively small and it is beset with a lot of issues, just like your local government refineries in Nigeria. But I think at least our refinery operates better. So the bulk of our petroleum products is imported. Okay, so there are times that the BDCs, as a bulk distribution companies, will pick from our refinery, but most times they will import from, I don't know, Amsterdam or America, whatever.
So just like Nigeria, you export your crude and you import the products you need back into
exactly. So you see that in this instance, this is an aside. When Dangote's refinery comes on stream, is it 750,000 barrels or so? It's going to have a direct impact on our petroleum downstream sector. Do you get it? Because obviously, if Dangote is refining Nigerian crude and just shipping from Nigeria to Ghana, it will be far more cost competitive than having to go and buy from, I don't know, Rotterdam in Amsterdam or America. Even the transportation cost alone.
Yeah, I mean that's one of his of the points he stressed in the article. The transportation cost has gone way higher than anything, especially during this COVID-19, and it's what is happening in most part of the world. Everything has become so costly, especially that transportation part, probably due to lockdown and all of that stuff. So I think for Nigeria, the government has tried twice or more to remove the subsidy from petroleum, because petroleum as a product is the only product that is still having subsidy. All other brands of all other product of petroleum, I mean oil and gas, are not subsidized, like AGO, the diesel, the kerosene, and all of that. So they are not subsidized. So it's only petroleum that is a little bit subsidized. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if the economy is not standing strong right now, and you are asking for incentive, I don't know where the government is going to bring that. So that is not really feasible. So to me, generally, it's the end of fossil. It's getting to the end of fossil, and it's reflecting in Africa already. I saw an article, was it a video from CNBC, on YouTube. The end of this one. The end of, you can go check it. And I mean, it's even in the Western world where you are importing from, all these fossil fuel and petroleum products are going to extinct. Not that they will get out. I mean, not that they will be phased out completely though, but I mean, the advocacy for electric vehicle and all of that. And I said something sometimes that someone argued with me that in order for us to have a complete um, what's it called, electrification of our energy system, we need to electrify the vehicle first, the transportation sector first, because despite the fact that most of the things we do consumes energy or needs energy for them to work, we have seen that total electrification of vehicles, of our transportation system, we actually aid every other sector. So if the chief executive, for that matter, is asking the government to intensify efforts on the electric vehicle, is in the right track, is on the right track rather. And I believe the government should start paying cogent attention, and all African government, African nations generally, should start paying cogent attention to this thing, because it is imminent, and we're already seeing it, already seeing the handwriting on the wall. So that's my take for now.
Well, but don't you find it interesting that it is the president of the how do you call it, the oil marketing companies is the one suggesting this? Because in another sense, somebody will say his suggestion is going to end up affecting his business negatively.
Well, you see, one of the problems we have in Africa is that we are always greedy. We think about ourselves first before others. And that's the problem. That's why we do not do critical thinking. Norway, as an example, they contribute 1 to 2% of world oil demand. And in April, they were selling electric vehicle more than other gasoline-powered vehicles. And they have how much fund in this petroleum fund or something? About 1 trillion cash in excess. So, and they would not say they are preaching against what they, I mean, that oil and gas they contribute to the world is their pot of soup. But they are now diversifying into the future. The future is what can sustain their economy. So this man is forward thinking. He's a forward thinker. It's a progressive. And I like us to identify with such person because they have seen it. He has seen it. And there's no way you bet against the future. Else you'll be dragged along. There's this adage in our own local dialect that when you see an elephant and you say there's nowhere to go for you, I want to block you. There's nothing that can block an elephant from going anywhere an elephant wants to go. So electric vehicle, electrification of mobility, and generally renewable energy has become the elephant that will go anywhere they want to go, and nobody can stop it. There's no orchestration, there's no chance, there's no enchantment that can stop it, because this is the future already. Why I should be surprised that a forward-thinking person is thinking right. This is what is expected of all African nations, African leadership, and all of that. I mean, compare this to our House of Rep a few months ago that was warning the federal government of Nigeria that acceptance and production of electric vehicle is injurious to our economy. COVID-19.
In fact, you just made me remember. I think I will link that article, so that discussion somewhere here for you guys to watch. But I was just thinking that their mindset has not aged well. COVID-19 has proven that it was completely fallacious.
That is it. That's the point. So which one should you scare? Should you be afraid of more? COVID-19 or electrification. COVID-19 has its own positive side, or like someone said that if all the capitalists decide to, if we decide to hang all the capitalists, a capitalist will supply the rope. Do you get it? So COVID-19 came to destabilize a lot of things. There has been a lot of disruption, but in it, there has been a lot of positive disruptions. Things, I mean, in one of my conversations,
like what? Give me an example. Give me an example of what you're talking about.
Look at, okay, in Nigeria, if you do not get to work at 8 a.m., you will get a in most workforces. Now, a lot of companies, even government agencies, now adopting technology and working from home using technology. Nobody believed it could work in Nigeria. We thought it was the end of Nigeria workforce or whatever it may be. But no, even though it's not at its peak, but we were able to do a lot. I mean, my school, a lot of schools were able to switch to online classes so quickly or quicker than thought. You get it? So a lot of things have happened whereby we've been able to say, okay, we should start thinking in a different direction. In this period,
what you are saying is that COVID-19 has been a catalyst for change.
Yes, definitely. But it is not in its entirety. Part of the change I would love to see is what the chief executive of the oil company in Ghana is already talking about. So I would like to see some leaders that can take the bull by the horn and say, okay, this is the future. Let us tap into it. And there are a lot of benefits, Forget about the issue of the economy of the electric vehicle to the owners. We are talking about a company. Have you ever seen the number of automobile makers on electric vehicles in this last 5 years? If it was a gasoline-powered vehicle, do you think, when last did you see a newer company establishing a gasoline-powered vehicle? Like, I want to compete.
It's very difficult. I think that even the ones we have on the continent are basically small scale,
or something like a franchise. Something like a franchise. So now what I'm now saying is that if you see a lot of startups on electric vehicle, you'll be wowed. I can count more than 50. Different little
but at the same rate too, some are also collapsing. They're running out of money.
Fine. But what I'm saying is that they're
able to start.
They were able to start. You know why? The technology is simple. So how much more a government of a nation, of one of the major oil producing nation in the world, that cannot just say, okay, let us earmark some part of our earnings so far in oil and gas, and let us have a company that will be producing electric vehicle for other African companies. We don't want to compete with Tesla. We just want to have a simple technology that will be another source of revenue for our nation outside oil and gas. And then we start. And they start inviting, people, technologists and engineers that are into this, that know much about it, and say, okay, what is the minimum viable product we can have? That's how to forward think. You don't just get stopped into something and start saying, yeah, it's only when the Western world produces it that we can use it. We can have our own. So this, your mind.
I think to a large extent, I agree with you.
You said?
I said to a large extent, I agree with you.
Okay.
But I found it very peculiar, because in our advocacy work, you and I, we have seen people, we have seen government institutions, we have seen corporate people, we have seen individuals and all that. And this kind of mentality is very rare, especially given the industry in which he is in.
Yeah.
Do you get it? As a matter of fact, a lot of oil and gas people, when we are talking to them, we don't have to explain to them, no, I am not your enemy. I'm not here to come and take away your business. Rather, what you should realize is that because you're in oil and gas, you are generally more capitalized. You have cash to deploy. So why don't you leverage the cash and invest in this emerging ecosystem? That is how you can survive, by adapting.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, they have the mind that, listen, it is oil and gas. That is where we are. That is where the money is.
Yeah,
anyway, I think that we'll end it here. I'm sure that in the next
there's still a lot to say. We cannot
so we cannot say all at once for the sake of time and brevity. So in our next topic, we'll be talking about barriers to EV adoption. I'm sure that some of these things will come up there and we can talk about it at length. So thank you very much for watching. If you are listening, thank you. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Yeah, like Oluwaku is smiling. And go to his channel, his maker channel, Think Electric Africa. You will see some interesting things that are being done and being built by Oluwaku with his students.
Thank you.
DIY projects, you can do them yourself if you apply yourself. Yeah. Exceptions. Bye.